Welcome to Resource PNG. We begin this program with a look at an exciting investment by three landowner companies. Mineral Resources Star Mountain, Mineral Resource Tedi, and Petroleum Resource Kutubu have all combined to invest in the establishment of Papua New Guinea's first Hilton Hotel establishment, the Star Mountain Plaza. Resource PNG was present to witness its launch. One of the world's most prestigious hotel chains, the Hilton, will soon have a presence in Papua New Guinea. Through a massive investment by landowners from Western Province and Southern Highlands, the Star Mountain Plaza is set to see the Hilton enter the PNG hospitality market within the next 3 years. The Star Mountain Plaza is a joint venture by Mineral Resource Star Mountain, Mineral Resource Tedi, Petroleum Resource Kutubu, in partnership with the independent state of Papua New Guinea.
The Star Mountain project is truly our future generations' fund. Long after Tedi is gone, the Star Mountain Plaza will remain standing. This is our new Tedi mine. We have found a fitting name in the Star Mountain Plaza to represent our strong commitment to use our dividends, our investment funds from Tedi, which are received through MRDC, to replace the Tedi mine. Today marks a new era and a new beginning and a new strategy for the people of Western Province to use their dividends from Tedi to other revenue generating activities. We are excited that not only the name of Star Mountain is represented in this project, but the mighty Fly River that unites the whole of Western Province, the north, middle and south, plus the traditional designs from our province are well represented in the buildings. The Star Mountain project is truly our project. My people are beneficiaries of the Kutubu project, and we are proud to be part of this investment. The people of Southern Highlands have been blessed with the Kutubu oil project and now the PNG LNG project, and have supported the growth of PNG's economic since oil extraction started in the region in the 1980s to date. I wish to highlight the important fact that this is a monumentous achievement of the people of Southern Highlands, and this success is a shining example of what the government's intervention in the local landowner companies can achieve.
The project itself will be constructed over 2 stages. The first being the construction of a 212-room 5-star Hilton Hotel, a multi-level convention and performing arts center, and a 160-apartment residential tower.
This has been a marathon journey which began in 2012 when the concept was initiated. And now, after 3 years of design, re-engineering and continued economic remodeling, this magnificent project is now a reality. The next lap will be even more challenging because we only have less than 3 years to construct 3 world-class facilities for APEC in 2018. The next stage of our journey is after the APEC, when more commercial retail and office space will be developed and potentially another hotel. Star Mountain Plaza will not only transform the Port Moresby landscape, but also set a new benchmark for high-rise building in PNG. This project will create the critical mass necessary to be the address of choice for business, pleasure, and entertainment. I would commend the owners of Star Mountain Plaza, the respective boards of Mineral Resource Star Mountain, Mineral Resource Tedi, and Petroleum Resource Kutubu, who have given their absolute commitment to this project. For the landowners of Tedi and Fly River Provincial Government, this is their next Tedi. PRK brings credibility into the project with a total asset of 1.8 billion and 1.2 billion in net asset. Together, the combined balance sheet of these three entities amount to total assets of well over 2.4 billion and a net asset of 1.8 billion. MRDC is proud to have assisted in the growth of these companies, particularly through the very trying times of the past. And now to be here, leading major development like this is indeed a testament to our success. The total cost of the first stage of the Star Mountain Plaza is 1.1 billion, which involves funding through partnership with ANZ Bank and state through the spirit of private-public partnership to host APEC 2018.
Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, who was on hand to witness the official launch of this development, congratulated all parties involved, adding that this development was indeed a turning point for landowners from the Star Mountain and Kutubu areas.
And I thank the management and the board of MRDC and all the landowner companies, the Star Mountains and of course my own province, Petroleum Resources Kutubu, for having the confidence in investing in such a project that is going to continue to provide benefits to the landowners and all the remote communities well into the future, when after the projects are closed and of course when after the projects have been developed fully in the near future. And I think these investments will continue to, as the Governor for Western Province stated, will benefit the future generation of our country. This project alone is a visionary project. And I thank Hilton Group for their confidence in Papua New Guinea. I know this is your first one in the country. I hope it is not the last one. We hope to extend many more partnerships right across the country. As Mr. Hutton correctly stated, we have got more to offer in terms of tourism to the global community than any other single country in the world. That is something we should be proud of. That is something that we should continue to encourage. And this is a sort of project that will enable us to achieve such outcomes into the future.
On behalf of the Mineral Resource Development Corporation and the board and management, all the landowner companies, particularly Star Mountain Development Corporation, and of course MROT and PRK. On their behalf, it gives me great pleasure to officially launch the Star Mountain Plaza project today. Thank you.
With Papua New Guinea hosting the APEC meeting in 2018, the Star Mountain Plaza development couldn't have come at a better time. You're watching Resource PNG. Coming up after the break, how low world oil prices have affected a major company within the energy sector. Welcome back to Resource PNG. Many companies within the extractive industry in Papua New Guinea have been restructuring their business in recent months, particularly in response to low commodity prices. One such sector is the petroleum sector. Major company Oil Search Limited recently announced a few changes to its business, which it says will assist in ensuring its business remains sustainable so that it can continue to grow in PNG. The continuous drop in world oil prices have been a worry for many, and the resource sector has also felt the brunt of this, with leading energy company Oil Search Limited recently announcing sweeping changes to its operations, primarily in response to these continued low prices. Its managing director, Peter Botten, recently outlined the company's measures to ensure it continued profitability. To cope with the drastic dip in pricing, Oil Search has announced the initial results of its strategic update and business optimization studies. This work has been carried out over the last 3 months in response to the sharp fall in global oil and gas prices, which have declined by over 60% over the past 12 months and are likely to take a number of years to recover. The review refocuses Oil Search's activities on its key strategic objectives, which are expected to deliver substantial value growth for the company over the next 5 years, despite the lower oil and gas price environment.
Our core business still performs well, and our first half results were strong, but those results were based on a higher oil price. The price has come down significantly since that time, and we have to adjust. Well, the oil and gas business is under fundamental change. It's probably the largest changes taking place since I've been in the oil and gas business, almost 40 years. And on that basis, you've seen a very substantial drop of the oil price from mid-2014 levels of about $115 a barrel down to what you see now, which is in the mid-40s. With that change, obviously, it impacts profitability, it impacts sustainability of a range of companies, and companies need to react. And Oil Search is one of those companies that must react in terms of its cost base, in terms of its profitability, and the business optimization program was designed to look at that in a strategic way.
According to Botten, the business optimization program has confirmed the need to focus activities on supporting the expansion of PNG LNG, including the development of a third train, the construction of Papua LNG, and continued optimization of their core oil business in PNG. It has also identified that part of Oil Search's businesses need to become more efficient and that investment in some areas that are non-core to Oil Search should be reduced.
But at the end of the day, we have to lose staff from right across the organisation to reduce costs. It's not all bad news. We are going to be focusing on building the Port Moresby office. There'll be a large number of people moving to Port Moresby from the field, from Australia, and new hires in Port Moresby to what we think the priorities of the organisation should be in its head office, along with expanding our training programs for senior national staff to bring through senior PNG nationals into senior representation across our organisation. PNG and our PNG assets are great assets. They are still profitable at oil prices well below $50 a barrel. What we have to do though is to drive them a bit harder, is to make us fit for purpose in what will be, I think, a period of low oil prices for many years to come. But in reality, we have to address ourselves to long-term sustainability as well, and we have to adjust our cost base and do our prioritisation of business in a way that makes us sustainable in the long term.
Various programs such as power development in the Highlands and Morobe will also receive higher investment, whilst its foundation will expand its operation in health to areas of education and various women's programs around Papua New Guinea.
There'll be a large number of people moving to Port Moresby from the field, from Australia, and new hires in Port Moresby to what we think the priorities of the organisation should be in its head office. And so expansion of Moresby office is a big issue for us, along with expanding our training programs for senior national staff to bring through senior PNG nationals into senior representation across our organisation. That also will deal with diversity of gender, but most importantly will present training opportunities for our own senior national staff to move through the organisation and hopefully over the next few years fill senior positions. We are a PNG company. We want to be seen to be doing that and delivering career opportunities for our national staff. So again, a priority.
Coming up after the break, news from the resource sector. Welcome back. It's time now to take a look at what's been making news within the resource industry. Australian energy company Woodside has formally put forward a proposal to acquire Oil Search Limited. The offer, announced to both the Australian Stock Exchange and Port Moresby Stock Exchanges this week, is subject to certain conditions, one being that Woodside's bid be supported by the government of Papua New Guinea. Woodside confirmed that it provided Oil Search Limited a confidential and non-binding proposal to merge through a scheme of arrangement under the Papua New Guinea Companies Act. In a statement released to the Australian Stock Exchange, the ASX, Woodside further stated that it is currently engaged in discussions with Oil Search and there is no certainty that these discussions will result in a transaction. The offer put forward by Woodside is subject to the following: completion by Woodside of satisfactory due diligence on Oil Search, execution of a mutually acceptable confidentiality agreement, Oil Search granting an agreed period of exclusivity, Oil Search obtaining support from key stakeholders and shareholders, and Woodside being satisfied that the transaction is likely to be supported by the PNG government on acceptable terms. Today, Oil Search Limited also informed both the ASX and POMSOX about Woodside's proposal, adding that its board intends to review the proposal and will update its shareholders and the market in due course. In its statement, Oil Search highlighted its strengths, saying it has a material equity position in the world-class PNG LNG project and attractive low-cost LNG development opportunities, including the PNG LNG Train 3 expansion and the Papua LNG project, which provides substantive scope for capital growth and positions the company to capitalize from a recovery in the world oil prices. Oil Search has emphasized that there is no guarantee that a binding proposal can be agreed between the parties at this stage, but adds that its shareholders are entitled to an offer which adequately reflects the company's value potential. Moving on, and Interoil Corporation has announced new appointments to its senior management roles. Thomas Nado, who was Interoil's Senior Vice President Corporate, is now Executive Vice President Papua New Guinea Business Operations. Mr. Nado, who will be based in Port Moresby, has accountability for Interoil's daily operations in the country, including health, safety and environment, human resource administration, supply chain, information management, and community and government affairs. His appointment follows the election of Isikeli Taureka, Interoil's Executive Vice President PNG, to the company's Board of Directors. Mr. Taureka becomes Executive Director PNG with responsibility for providing strategic advice to the board, managing senior relationships with political, business and community stakeholders, and for assisting the Chief Executive with key investor relationships. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Resource PNG. To contribute to this program, get in touch with us via email on resourcepng@mtv.com.pg. To view this edition again, log on to www.mtv.com.pg, where you will find a link to the Resource PNG page. You can also follow us on Facebook. Just search for Resource PNG. Until the next time, pleasant viewing.